Hey, welcome back to God and Country Garage. Today, we're going to take out the old 1-ton diesel. It's almost auction season, and I haven't actually started this thing since, I don't know, December. So, time to dig her out of the storage unit back here. It's still cold. It's like 34 today, kind of windy. Snowed last night, but irregardless, it's time to dig this thing out, and we're going to give her a bath and do a little bit of maintenance on her. See what kind of cold start we can get out of her. Gotta let the grid heater warm up. Didn't even hesitate. All right, what are we even working on here? This is a 2008 Ram 3500 with the 6.7 Cummins in it. I think the truck used to be a dually. I believe it was originally titled as a dually. I can tell they put another bed on because it used to be white, and they just kind of rhino lined, and that's coming off, but that's all right because I'd rather have a single axle than a dually anyway. It does have Easter decorations and 6-speed. The G56 6-speed in it. I believe this guy might have actually, the guy I bought it from, I believe he truck pulled it because he's got, it's cool, but it's obnoxious. This stack in the bed, and he's got, let's see, I don't know if you can see him or not. Oh, these big old long traction bars on there and one-piece drive shaft. It's got an EGR delete, and he's got a tuner in it. Right now it's on a tow tune because I mainly use this to pull my camper. I got a 29-foot camper with a slide, and it's my gas truck does it, but this one likes it a little more. We're gonna give this thing a bath real quick. You can see how, here, I'll do it on these crappy headlights, how dusty it is. I mean, it was sitting in the shed all year, but it just gets dusty. These things will eventually need to be addressed, but we're not doing that today. Now you might be saying, why would you even do a video on this? This is obviously running, driving. It works fine, you know what I'm saying? But being a diesel, these things require a ton of maintenance, and it can get real expensive if you ignore it. And this is the first time I've had it out this year, so obviously we're gonna do simple things like change the oil. I've never checked the transmission fluid. Yes, it's a manual, they still have transmission fluid, and I know it leaks. So I actually bought a billet PTO cover for the side of it. We want to change that out because in a little bit I'll show you how you can add fluid if you change it. It's a big pain in the butt, and this cover will give me a much better way. You know, I'm aware that this isn't a will it run video, but here's the deal. I created this channel to inform and have a little fun. You know, maybe you can learn something from watching it. I'm by no means, way, shape, or form, or self-proclaimed an expert on anything. Everything I've learned is either reading ads online or what was passed down to me from grandparents and my dad and stuff, or just figuring it out yourself, you know? Because I ain't independently wealthy. I gotta figure this crap out myself. So, if anything, maybe you can learn something from the small crap I'm doing. Maybe you could, if you know a better way, hey, I'm all about advice, even criticism. You can learn from somebody criticizing you because they very well might know a better way. So go ahead and let me know if you know something better to do with this. We're gonna do a little bit of maintenance, and then we'll go beat the snot out of it. Oh, this stuff smells good. Uh-oh. Must be purging a little air out of the pressure washer. I just hooked the hose up, so it's actually probably not a bad day to do this today. I don't know, it's like maybe 50 degrees, but any hotter and the soap would just dry on there immediately. We ain't gonna get crazy with it. We'll just give her a rinse. Oh, I'm running out of soap. No. Oh well. Ah, I'm out of hose too. Well, I guess it's a little bit cleaner. We'll see all the stripes. Oh, see, I'm already seeing them. Running out, the dirt running out behind the gas door. Oh well. Here's one of the downfalls of owning a little bit nicer truck. I forgot about this till I was washing this. Look at that. I noticed this last summer. I must have been at, I don't know, store, Fleet Farm or something, and somebody backed into me and then left. And I hate idiot drivers out there, but they're everywhere. And I don't know if you could tell, this ain't a factory color back then, so this is some crap that somebody mixed up. So what's the chances of getting another bumper and painting it to match? Oh well. That's one of the downfalls of having a truck that you actually like and don't want to get all beat up. Now that we made the ground all wet, I guess I'll go in the house, have some coffee, and wait for it to dry. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to pull the tractor out, pull it in there, and do the work. Nah, it ain't gonna fit. There ain't enough room. All right, we're gonna let this dry. All right, here's the underside of the tranny. This thing is massive. Like, here's my hand in comparison. This thing's huge. This is a G56, which is a 6-speed manual. I believe this transmission's actually made by Mercedes, and this is the PTO cover. There's actually one on each side. There's one over here too. And actually, let me see once. Whoa. I think this is the side we're gonna go after, because when I put this billet cover on here, it's actually got a provision for a trans temp gauge, and if I do that, I can go right up with the wire up into there, and haven't figured out where I'm going to put it yet in the floor or through the floor and into the console, but we'll, I don't know, investigate that when we get there, I guess. So I got a new gasket, like I say, a billet cover here. Right here is the drain for it, and I almost wonder if that's where it's leaking. There's fluid all over this thing. I'm presuming this tranny's been apart. Well, I know the guy put a triple disc clutch in it, which is another reason I think he had this thing hooked to a sled at one time and pulled in like street diesel or something like that. Maybe we could do that ourselves in the future. I don't know. You start hooking these things to some heavy weight like a pulling sled, and that's when you break stuff. But I've also noticed, let's see if I can show you, it's got the stock trailing arms on the front end, except for that one. That one's been replaced, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But either way, we'll get this draining, and then we'll get that cover off and put the new cover on, and then I'll show you the real fun way. You see there's no provisions on these as far as adding fluid. I'll show you the exciting part of that. If you're wondering what size this bolt is, or hex, whatever you want to call it, it's a 14 millimeter. So that's kind of a uncommon tool to have. But if you're going to work on one of these diesels, even like the oil drain pan is metric. believe that's also a 14 millimeter. Get this draining. Probably gonna wear it. I don't know how much is even in here. Wow, she's a long-winded devil. Oh no. Oh, that actually didn't look horrible. I wonder what kind of fluid he had in there. Huh. She's dark purple. Smells like transmission fluid. But it's definitely something synthetic. All right, we got the stock cover off. You can see they gooped the crap out of it with RTV instead of just, you know, putting the right gasket in there. And here's what we're going to replace it with. This is the TDS billet cover for the side. I mean, it looks pretty high quality. It's pretty nice. Here's your port for your gauge. Here's the little unit for the gauge. Here's your fill plug. If you want to fill it, from now on, you can fill it through this hole if you want, and it'll actually give you the correct amount. You can basically, like a rear end, fill it up till it starts coming back out. So it'll be much nicer, much easier to service if you have to in the future. And this is the cheap little gauge I bought. I don't know. It was pretty cheap, so we'll see. I guess the curiosity's got the better of me, so I don't even know if this gauge works. Oh yeah, there it goes. She flip up, flip down. I'm guessing the button is to pick your color, because that's important. Yeah, that thing will fail within a week, and then we'll spend money on a real gauge. Well, there's the cover installed. I temporarily just linked the wires together for the temp probe, because I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put that gauge or how I'm going to run the wires. So just in case I don't get to it right away, at least they won't get all corroded and get caught in this front drive shaft. Not that I should need four-wheel drive, but I will say it is kind of nice that the bolts to install the cover here, they at least put the same size hex in the plug up top, so you ain't fishing around for multiple tools. So that's done. Now let's get to pulling that console out of the truck and show you how to add the fluid. All right, to do this, you got to pull this console out. So you got to, there's all kinds of screws and clips, and I'm gonna need something to pry these out. But yeah, mud jug, that's got to get out of the way. Voting sticker, pull that out of the way. There's, like I say, there we go. There's gonna be some screws and stuff under here, down in there, up there. I know there's some screws back here. This has to get popped down. All this has to come out, basically. Let's see if I can get this out of here. There we go. I believe there's one down in there. This whole console has to come out, which I guess be a good time to clean it up. And then basically you gotta undo the shifter under here, pull that up, and then you can add fluid right through the top of the tranny. So once I get to that point, we'll bring you back in. It's gonna take me a little bit. Well, after roughly 600 screws and a couple bolts, and actually even put a cut in the carpet so I could get the rubber boot off, this is kind of what I was suspecting. I gotta get a gasket for that shifter because I'm thinking it's leaking out of there. They probably tore this apart once. Maybe this is how they filled it last time, and they didn't get her sealed up. So I'm thinking the majority of that leak is coming out of this shifter. But irregardless, it's these 4 bolts. We'll pop them out. I can add the fluid, throw a new gasket in there, maybe a little RTV, and start putting this collection of crap all back together. I have like every 1/4 inch drive socket you can think of, because all these bolts were different sizes. So somebody's been in here before. There we go. Get these bolts out of here. Oh, come on. Yeah, somebody definitely glued that in place with some RTV. There's RTV on the ends of the bolts. One thing I would recommend make sure your shifter's in neutral, right in the center, so that way all the gears are in the center. And when you go put the shifter back in, you ain't worried about something being out of alignment. But I'm gonna have to pry that off. Somebody RTV'd the crap out of it and it's been leaking. So that's where the hot transmission fluid smell is coming from. It stinks in here now. So, all right, I'm gonna give me a minute to rip this thing off. Well, that only took about 36 years. Gotta love when they just smear the crap all over these things. Whatever. All right. So, now that we're to that point, you can see we can just pour the fluid in through the top. And it'll be significantly easier to do it that way now that it's all tore apart than pumping it through the side. In the future, I will not do this again. I'll just put it in through the drain plug or the fill plug on the side of that billet plate that I put on the side, that billet PTO cover. You know what I'm saying. All right, I gotta clean this all up, add the fluid, throw it all back together, and then I might as well clean this carpet as much as possible while it's apart, you know? Yeah, good plan. Well, the hits just keep coming. I got this shifter in here. I was trying to put a new clamp on here because it's so loose. This rubber is like stretched out. And I realized they had the clamp up here so tight that they tore the crap out of this boot. And I really don't want to put it all back together with it leaking. Obviously, it's been leaking oil right out the top too. So, I think we're gonna wait. Order a new boot. I kind of looked online and I don't really see anything, so I doubt they're gonna have anything online, but I'm gonna look around. If I can't get one, I'm gonna order one because I really don't want to put it back together and have it leak all over the floor again. Well, I ended up finding a boot at Napa. I looked at O'Reilly, didn't have them, so I guess we'll go with the Napa Know-How. Anyway, it's supposed to be in tomorrow. I'll have to wait, but I guess for now I'll fill it with some Valvoline Synchro mesh. I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, you should put Royal Purple or Lucas. You need Lucas or Amsoil. No, you don't. This will be just fine. You don't need that expensive stuff. Plus, this was on sale for like $8.50 a quart. So, I recommend 6 quarts. I'm gonna put in 7 because they say that extra quart will keep that chatter down when you're low RPM and a low gear or something like that. So we'll try that. And if I don't like it, I can, pop a quart out just by pulling the plug out the side and letting it drain down until it stops coming out the side. So we'll do this for tonight. And then tomorrow we'll put it all back together. One for you and one for me. I think I'm gonna have a campfire tonight. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning. It's the next morning, obviously. I went to Napa and picked up my new boot. And this looks much more like the correct boot than that one. I don't know where they got this from. This isn't even close to the right thing. So we'll slide this over. You can actually see there's actually a spot right here where the top of this boot is supposed to go. So I don't know what they did with that last one. I'll probably have to take a hammer or something and tap that down into place. There, that's where that goes. Oh, come on. Should have put grease on it. But I didn't. And I'm not now. Okay, well, hey, I'll get that on and then we'll put this all back together. Well, I got the seal over the shifter. That was fun. Went and got a second seal. I tried to tap her in place with a hammer, and if you can see, tore a hole in it. So why would you put it back together with another ripped seal? So luckily today, O'Reilly's had one in stock, so I went there and got one. Mental note, next time just get your mountain claws on and pull her down over the top. Well, that whole fiasco is done. Oh, this is a pain. I cleaned up the console a little bit before I put it in. And as you can see, I didn't have a good place to put the gauge. I mean, I drilled the hole in the console while it was out and didn't realize that this much covered. So I wish it was over that way a little more. Who cares for now, right? I mean, how often are you going to pay attention to it anyway? But as you can see, bloop, she works. So I couldn't find a good place to tap into the harness. So, and I even looked online and didn't find a lot of wiring schematics. So we just did the old, I found a fuse that was 12 volt ignition and tapped into the fuse for now. If I can figure out a better place in the harness under the dash, that would be easy to, and probably better to tap into. But for now, that'll be good. I think next we're going to change the CCV filter, and all that is, it's like a PCV valve. It's the crankcase filter, and it's highly overlooked. A lot of guys don't change them. They're easy. You just pull these bolts out of this cover and it's right under there. An easy way to tell if it's getting bad is, you know, a lot of guys put the oil cap upside down. If it blows out, you can tell you got a little bit of blow by, but if it sucks it in, if it sucks the cap down to the cover here, it means she's getting plugged up. And mine ain't really doing that, but I don't know when the last time it was changed. So we're gonna, I got a Baldwin filter here. These things ain't very cheap. They're pretty expensive, but either way, this will go under there. So we'll get on that next. All right. Just pop these 8mm bolts out. Find a good place to drop them or you'll never find them again. We'll hang on to them for now, I guess. Oh no, she's stuck in there. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna need a deep well for the back. It's a stud back there. All right, let's pull this right up out of the way. And there it is. Ooh, we should probably clean this up a little. She's looking a little grubby. Now, the filter should just, there we go, pop up out of there. Yeah, you know, I don't know if this one was bad. I'm looking to see. Oh, it's a actual Cummins Fleet Guard. Well, it's probably a better filter than what I got, but in the garbage. We're gonna put this Baldwin back in place. So, oh god, this is a bad thing about having a taller truck. Is I'm getting old. Getting tough to climb up on here. Anyway. Alright, filter's back in. Cover can go right back on. That was probably the easiest operation of filter change on this truck. Put these back in. Oh, almost dropped them. Oh, she ain't down all the way. There, now she's seated down. Had to use a swivel on the back here because they're almost a little bit under the firewall. I'd probably start them all before you tighten them up. Uh-oh. Give me it back. There we go. We're good. Don't forget to put your oil cap back on. Okay, there we go. Well, I suppose we might as well change on the oil too. I only got like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 miles on this oil, but again, it's sat all year. Oop, my mic's getting away from me. She sat all winter, so we're doing all this other crap, might as well do the oil too, right? Just gotta find a good way to get under here. Oh, I jammed 3 fingers breaking that loose. It's actually like a 3/8 drive ratchet size in the drain plug. I want to wear all this oil. Go. Oh, that wasn't too bad. All right. All right, we'll let that drain. I don't even remember where the filter is on this thing. I'll find it eventually. That, or maybe we'll just leave the old filter. No, we'll change the filter. Remember, these take 12 quarts of oil, so make sure your pan isn't completely full before you start draining the oil. Oh my goodness, she's filling the pan faster than it's draining down into the pan. This could be dangerous. No, maybe not. Well, while that's draining, I remember where the filter is. Right down there, under the air intake tube. So, I think the last time I did this, I pulled this intake out of there and the filter out of there and got it from above. So, I think that's what we're gonna do while that's draining. Nothing too exciting. Finish that, throw a filter on, and then we'll get on the fuel filter, which is also a pain in the butt. Maybe we should go play on the swing set for a little bit. That looks fun. Taylor, what are you doing? Here's something a little confusing. Is that that can't be factory, right? You run the wire harness run through the factory air inlet? Or did somebody cobble something up? I didn't even notice that last time, but I'm noticing it now. I see stuff that don't look like factory wires all over the place here, and I don't know. Maybe that's factory, but even that running under there, this can't be right. Why would you put a foam gasket all the way around that? I don't know. All right, filter. Well, curiosity got the best of me, so I had to pull this headlight out, and it's actually the wires. This is the air intake, or the air inlet for the filter. And I don't know why you'd run them through there instead of just running them through here, but whatever. So I gotta unhook all this and hopefully not drop this headlight out, and unhook these resistors because they're LEDs, run them through here, and then none of the wires should be pinched off with the airbox anymore. So at least we figured that out. Again, I don't know why you do it this way, but whatever. Well, it's all back together. And as you can see now, the harness is under the air inlet. So, I mean, was it necessary? I don't know. I think so. Probably not, but last thing we got to do is this fuel filter, and it is kind of a pain. We'll run through that. Okay, slight dilemma. I do not have a socket for these wheels, and I've never had these wheels off. These are kind of the same lug nuts as what's on my half ton, so I have a socket for those, but they're obviously smaller than this because it ain't gonna go on there. So we're gonna bypass changing the fuel filter for today. It runs fine. I mean, I'm sure it's good, but it would be nice to do. Here's the deal. See that right there, that white? That's the drain, and then the filter's up inside that housing up there. So the easiest way to do this is to pull this wheel off, pull the wheel liner out, and then you can get up in there, but that's gonna be for a different day. I'm gonna do a little research and see what socket I need for this, and then I guess I'm gonna need it anyway, just in case you ever get a flat tire or anything. But all right, let's just go beat the crap out of this thing for an afternoon. See how good she runs. Oh, the gauge is all lit up. It's kind of a crappy spot, hard to see, but there we go. Obviously it ain't reading yet because transmission ain't warm, but we'll go find us a back road where we can have a little fun. Alright, I suppose. Let's see if we can find some back roads to terrorize. Downfall of that stack back there is it is loud inside here. Oh, and you can't really open that sucker up because see, she gets even louder. And if you're getting on it, rolling the coals, it literally sucks all the smoke right into the cab. So that's, you can be gentle with this thing and not make it smoke, but if it's working, it's smoking. How many houses were in this area. Well, we've done a little bit of driving, a little bit of beating. You can see the trans temp starting to read, just coming up a little bit, but we can find another back road and see if we can hammer on this thing without being noticed. This truck's pretty hard to get away with anything because she's pretty easily noticeable. She's easy to pick out in a crowd, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's enough terrorizing the neighborhood with this beast. Much as I like burnouts and black smoke and loud exhaust, I don't think everybody else does. And tell you what, this truck stands out, and she's pretty tough to hide if anybody comes looking for you. So I think we're done with that. You know, I gotta apologize for my voice. Last couple of days, I've had a cold. It's actually been a couple of weeks since I started doing the maintenance on here. Then I had to go out on the road, and actually I got to leave in like a day and a half to go back on the road, and I'll be gone for 2.5 weeks. So these videos might be a little few and far between. Life gets busy sometimes, you know, but we just keep doing what we're doing. You can see we're already putting her to work, hauling trucks around with this sucker. So did good. And that's what you want, right? You want it to continue running well and doing what it's supposed to do. It's not a pavement princess. I bought this truck as a hauling work truck, and that's what we're going to do with it. I mean, try to keep it nice, but put it to work. I hope, if anything, you learned a little bit today, had a little fun watching. You know, I really, really appreciate everybody that watches these videos and throws a thumbs up or a like or anything like that on there. God bless every one of you, and the weather's getting nice, you know, just try to get outside and work on something right after you watch these videos, of course, but then go outside and work on something. And you know, it's labor these days is expensive, and there's all kinds of videos to show you how to do your own work. And if you want to go out and save some money, it's just so much more rewarding to do your own maintenance and repairs, and you just gotta find the time to do it, right? But thanks for watching. God bless all of you, and I hope you had fun and learned a little something. We'll see you next time.